In 2024, at a mining site in the Gujarat state of India, scientists were digging through the earth. A fairly ordinary excavation, much like many others they'd carried out before, until they came across something no one expected. 27 massive vertebrae lined up one after another. For the team, this was in many ways no different from a routine they'd repeated countless times. Digging layer by layer, carefully examining every fragment that surfaced, and more often than not, coming across fairly ordinary fossil remains. But that day, as the sound of digging continued just like any other, no one could have guessed that what was about to emerge from the ground would shake the scientific world this deeply. SEWIP. At first, no one could quite figure out what they were looking at. It was hard to even believe something this massive could be real. Some even wondered if the bones could belong to more than one animal, simply because a single creature reaching these proportions seemed almost unthinkable. But once the detailed analysis was complete, the result surprised many, because these bones belong to what may be the largest snake to have ever lived. Its length surpassed that of a school bus, and its weight could reach up to a ton. The more the team studied these vertebrae, the more they realized they weren't just looking at a fossil, but quite possibly a completely new chapter in the history of snakes. If you'd been part of that excavation team, what would your first reaction have been? Today, we're diving into this massive creature that captured the scientific world's attention in 2024, Vasuki indicus. If you're into stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. According to scientists, Vasuki indicus measured somewhere between 11 and 15 meters in length. If you're wondering how this measurement was made, researchers compared the width of the vertebrae they found with data taken from large snakes living today to arrive at this figure. So this isn't just a guess, it's the result of a scientific calculation. This method is a well-established scientific technique paleontologists have relied on for years to estimate body size from bone measurements. Madtsoiidae, one of the researchers, describes Vasuki as possibly having spent much of its day coiled up with its massive body, resting its head on top of itself. Data and his team arrived at these conclusions through months of comparative analysis, examining each vertebra individually to uncover Vasuki's true dimensions. Thanks to their meticulous work, we're able to share all these detailed insights about Vasuki with you today. And if this information has fascinated you as much as it has me, don't forget to hit that like button. Its weight was just as impressive as its length, roughly 1 ton, about the same as a small truck. Even the largest snakes alive today usually don't weigh more than 100 kilograms. Vasuki was 10 times heavier than that. Carrying that much mass was both an advantage and a disadvantage. It could easily crush its prey, but moving around also required serious strength. For comparison, that weight is roughly a sixth of an adult African elephant's, meaning we're talking about an incredible amount of mass packed into the body of a single snake. On top of that, being able to carry a body this heavy meant its muscles and skeletal structure had to be just as powerful. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to move under its own weight at all. This shows us that Vasuki wasn't just remarkable for its length. Carrying this massive bulk made it one of nature's most impressive engineering feats. So tell me, if you came face to face with a 1-ton giant like this, what's the first thing that would cross your mind? Let me know in the comments. So, how do you think this massive weight fit into a single body? Vasuki indicus had a wide, cylindrical body with a diameter reaching about 44 centimeters, nearly as thick as a car tire. The width of the vertebrae gave paleontology researchers clear clues about just how thick the body actually was, and that's exactly why every new fossil discovery from this era matters so much. This wide, cylindrical structure also suggests, according to experts, that the snake most likely lived on land rather than in water, since aquatic snakes tend to have flatter, slimmer bodies. When the points where the rib bones connected to the vertebrae were examined, it became clear that the body had a remarkably solid and muscular structure. Meaning, Vasuki wasn't just thick, it was also incredibly powerful, a real testament to what ancient Earth's prehistoric animals were capable of. That would have significantly increased the crushing force it could apply while coiling around its prey. What's more, thick-bodied reptiles like this evolved in an era distinct from the Cretaceous and Jurassic periods, in the hot world that emerged after the extinction of the dinosaurs, which made them the true giants of their own time. Scientists say that every fossil find like this adds a new piece to the puzzle of evolution explained. And just think, even a single vertebra pulled from the ground millions of years later can crack open the door to an entire prehistoric world. If these details caught you off guard too, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, what do you think Vasuki actually looked like with a body this massive? According to experts, Vasuki indicus closely resembled today's giant pythons in appearance. Just picture the biggest python species you've seen at home or at the zoo, then multiply that several times over. That's roughly the image scientists paint of Vasuki. Unfortunately, since the skull still hasn't been found, details like facial features, eye structure, or teeth arrangement remain unknown. But judging by the body structure, we're clearly looking at a thick, powerful, and striking reptile. Madtsoiidae, one of the researchers, describes Vasuki as possibly having spent much of its day coiled up with its massive body, resting its head on top of itself. So it can be imagined as a creature that was both intimidating and remarkably calm at the same time, much like that iconic image we so often picture when we think of prehistoric animals today. Details like scale texture and coloring patterns weren't preserved in the fossils either, so we can only speculate about those. Perhaps it had adapted to its swampy environment with a camouflage pattern in shades of brown or green. That makes it, among ancient creatures, both a mysterious and remarkably striking figure. Just imagine, a Vasuki coiled at the edge of a swamp millions of years ago, its massive body nearly invisible against the landscape, perhaps not even noticing the prey passing right beside it. So tell me, if you locked eyes with a creature like this, what's the first thing that would cross your mind? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more discoveries from this lost world. So, how fast do you think a creature with such a massive, heavy body like Vasuki could actually move? Not very fast at all, actually. According to scientists, this giant snake moved quite sluggishly. Dragging around a body weighing a full ton is no easy task, so it's unlikely Vasuki was ever built to be a fast-moving predator. But here's where a surprising detail comes in. Even though it wasn't fast, it was remarkably skilled at setting ambushes. Instead of chasing down its prey, Vasuki waited patiently, watched for the perfect moment, and struck at exactly the right time. According to experts, this slow but calculated approach is actually a strategy we see often in Evolution Explained. Some species manage to survive not through speed, but by favoring power and patience instead, much like a tactic embraced by many prehistoric animals that once roamed ancient Earth. Interestingly, these kinds of slow but powerful predators emerged in a world quite different from the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods when dinosaurs dominated. They arose in the warm, thriving age that followed their extinction. In other words, Vasuki was one of the most striking examples of an evolutionary line that gained its advantage not through speed, but through patience and sheer mass. Just picture it, a massive body lying motionless for hours at the edge of a swamp, nearly blending into its surroundings. And then, the moment it strikes, moving with incredible force, despite all that weight. So which do you think is more dangerous? A slow but patient predator, or a fast but impatient one? Let me know in the comments. So where exactly did this giant snake live? According to scientists, Vasuki indicus preferred to live in swamps and coastal regions. A hot, humid environment covered in dense vegetation. The perfect terrain for a giant predator like this to hide and set up an ambush. Judging by its body structure, experts believe it lived mostly on land rather than in water, though it was very likely to have roamed close to water sources as well. These kinds of swamp ecosystems were a perfect match for the climate of ancient Earth at the time. Hot, humid, and remarkably rich in vegetation. That's exactly why the Gujarat region is such a treasure trove for the paleontology community today, since it holds traces of many prehistoric animals that once lived under similar conditions. So why might it have specifically favored these kinds of areas? Because soft terrain like swampy ground offered it a huge advantage. Both plenty of prey and an environment where it could easily carry that massive body of its. On top of that, the dense vegetation strengthened its camouflage, making it nearly impossible for prey to notice it. That makes it one of the rare examples among ancient creatures that adapted this perfectly to its surroundings. Do you think you'd even be able to spot Vasuki if it crossed your path while walking through a swamp like that? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more discoveries from this lost world. So do you think this massive creature was venomous? Actually, no. Vasuki indicus was a completely non-venomous species, but that didn't make it any less dangerous because it barely needed venom in the first place. According to experts, simply having a body this enormous already gave it more than enough of an advantage. Thanks to its muscular, thick build, it could overpower and subdue its prey through sheer physical force alone. This made it a predator with a hunting strategy entirely different from venomous snake species, one that drew its strength not from chemistry, but from raw muscle mass. Interestingly, this kind of strength-based hunting strategy is a pattern we see often in Evolution Explained. Some species developed venom, while others managed to survive by relying directly on mass and muscular power instead. In fact, this was a path embraced by many prehistoric animals that once lived across ancient Earth, gaining an advantage through sheer size and strength rather than producing venom. This trait made Vasuki both a simpler and equally effective predator. What's more, producing venom is a biologically costly process, whereas the mass Vasuki already carried let it achieve the same result without ever having to pay that cost. So tell me, which do you think would be scarier to encounter? A venomous snake or a non-venomous but massively powerful one like Vasuki? So what lineage do you think Vasuki actually descended from? Scientists place this massive snake within the now completely extinct Madtsoiidae family. This family survived on Earth for roughly 100 million years. A lineage of snakes that began in the final era of the dinosaurs and managed to keep surviving long after their extinction. According to experts, Vasuki is a distant relative of modern pythons and anacondas, but not their direct ancestor. It occupied its own distinct, independent branch on the evolutionary tree. Researchers believe this family most likely originated in India and spread from there toward southern Europe and Africa. The fossils that have been found show that this family managed to survive even the meteor impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. A survival story that reminds us just how volatile and unforgiving Earth before humans truly was. So what do you think ultimately led such a long surviving lineage to go extinct in the end? If you found this interesting, don't forget to like the video. So how do you think this venomous giant snake actually hunted its prey? According to scientists, Vasuki indicus subdued its prey by coiling around it and constricting it, essentially suffocating it, much like today's anacondas. Picture it. With that muscular, thick body, it would wrap itself around its prey, then squeeze slowly but relentlessly until the prey went completely still. This was a hunting strategy that didn't require speed, but was remarkably effective. With every breath the prey tried to take, it would feel Vasuki's grip tighten just a little more. So what do you think a snake this massive actually fed on? While researchers aren't entirely certain, given its size, they believe its diet may have included the ancient ancestors of horses and rhinos, and possibly even crocodiles. No direct prey remains have turned up among the fossils found so far, but comparisons with the feeding habits of similar prehistoric animals support this theory. Do you think it would have been possible to escape a predator like this? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, do you think this massive creature is still alive today? Unfortunately, no. The Madtsoiidae family, to which Vasuki indicus belonged, went completely extinct around 12,000 years ago. Just think about it. This magnificent lineage of snakes, which survived on Earth for 100 million years and even outlasted the age of the dinosaurs, ultimately faded into history. So what might lie behind this extinction? While scientists haven't pinpointed an exact cause, they believe that shifting climate conditions and the shrinking of warm, humid habitats gradually made it harder for these massive creatures to survive. In other words, what wiped out Vasuki wasn't the sudden meteor impact that erased the dinosaurs, but a much slower, quieter climatic shift. And that teaches us something important. Mass extinction doesn't always come as a sudden catastrophe. Sometimes a slow, barely noticeable process can erase an entire lineage from history just the same. And so, Vasuki indicus, one of history's most striking predators, withdrew from the stage of history forever, leaving behind nothing but 27 vertebrae and a story that still leaves us in awe. So tell me, which feature of this giant creature do you think you'll never forget? As you can see, this incredible giant that managed to shake the scientific world with just 27 vertebrae alone came from a lineage that even outlasted the age of the dinosaurs. A true survival legend that stretched from the Cretaceous period through the Jurassic and beyond, surviving even the meteor impact that wiped out so much else. So if that missing skull is ever found one day, do you think the facts we'll learn about Vasuki indicus will amaze us even more? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if this giant, one of the most fascinating ancient creatures out there, captivated you as much as it captivated me, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more content like this on Dinosaurs Explained.